Welcome back to Adobe Dreamweaver CC. In this tutorial we're going to explore the difference between the live and the design view. So we've been primarily working in the live view, and as you can see, as I click on an area here, you'll see it has its tag. So I have a paragraph tag. If I click on this area, it has the strong tag, H1. If I click up, it'll select the entire body tag or the footer tag, which is a paragraph also. But it's difficult to select multiple areas. It's like, what if I want to edit this whole larger area? I'm going to include some more information here. So I could edit in the code view here, but what if I didn't want to do that? What if I wanted to edit this in another way? Well, we could go back to the old way, which is the design view. The design view eventually might be taken away from Dreamweaver in the future, but right now it's still useful for certain things. And this is the old way, the way it used to be. It used to just have the design view in Dreamweaver. And the live view basically imitates more what the browser would look like. So if I actually had style effects here, it wouldn't render this out properly. That's the main difference. And you would notice it basically very drastically. Things would be really funky. I don't have any styles applied to this document so far. It's all HTML, so maybe later on you'll actually see it and see how funky it would look. But or actually, let me open up another page here just to demonstrate this. I think it'd be useful. So what I'm going to do is open up another site. I'm going to pause here while I open it up. Hold on. So I open up this 2D artwork, which is actually responsive design. It actually has some other elements here, but you can kind of see how things are kind of funky. It's missing imagery, and there's just some funkiness that happens. And when I resize this, there's definitely some issues in the design view. So the CSS is not properly working. If I switch to the live view, however, I have a logo here, and when I contract this, the navigation changes completely, and everything looks better. So again, that's the main difference in terms of the live versus the design view, is how it works with CSS. So let me switch back to this index file and go over some aspects of the design view that's actually quite nice. So for example, in here, what if I want to select all this text here and do something to it? Well, in the live view, it's difficult to do that. Again, you'd have to select each of these little elements here and apply it, and it just doesn't quite work. Where the design view, I can select from educator artist all the way down here. Now I don't want to select the footer for this thing, but what I want to do is apply some sectioning content under HTML. So I'm going to go to the insert panel under HTML and go down here, and the HTML tags are fairly new, these ones here. So you have header, nav, main, aside, article, and section, and footer. And really this is a main section here. So the main content will be, lots of everything inside that, but this is definitely a section here. So I'm going to click on this, and then what I want it to do is wrap around the current section, which is this here. Now I can give it a class and ID again. We're going to go over this later on, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to leave that alone. Just click OK, and then click in here, and you'll see here that we have now a section tag, and you can see how that all area is now in a section. And that is really nice that you can basically select that very easily, that text. So that's really the main thing about the design view versus the live view in terms of how to edit text. Now you can highlight text, so you can highlight just before and then right click, and then you do have some options. So it doesn't have the quick tag editor, but it does have the wrap tag, which you can choose here. And if I wanted to add a strong element, I could do that. So if I wanted to do a strong again, I would just type it out and then hit enter and then enter again. And so now my BFA here would be highlighted if I wanted my degree to be highlighted. I'm going to undo that though. Don't really need that to be highlighted. But that would be an option here, so you can always do that. The other thing you can realize is down here, the properties that is open. If I go to window, if you don't have it open, you can go to window and go down to properties and check that. And if it's a floating window, you can just dock it down to the bottom here by dragging it down. But if I want to change in these, so say the educator and artist here, if I want to change that from H1, H2, I could go in there and select that and do that just like that. Now you can also do that from the live view, so I do want you to understand that, but this is the way it used to work with Dreamweaver. It used to work with the properties here in the not the live view but the design view. And typically what happened was the design view was your main editor, and live view really didn't do a whole lot in the past. It has added a lot of functionality now. So it is very, very useful, but in the past it didn't have a whole lot. But now I could select this paragraph. I want it to be something else. I could do that if I want to give it a link. Here you can see the class and the ID options here. You can give it target or title. So there's all kinds of other things that you can do with the properties, and we may check this out later on once we get to CSS. But do understand that you can easily edit in the design view here. Just be aware, especially for larger areas of text. Typically that's what I use it for. So otherwise I'm in the live view with the quick tag editor. So that's your basic breakdown of what's going on here in Adobe Dreamweaver CC, the difference between the live view and the design view. Until next time, see you soon. Cheers.